What's up, everyone? Thralls of Metal back again, bringing you another excellent metal review. I am the Shredlord.
Necrotic Nick.
Now, before we get started, Necrotic is going to drop a nice little plug on you guys.
So, once again, I'm going to tell you about Heathen Metalheads. It is a fun Facebook group. If you love metal and you love talking about metal, definitely come by. We have theme days, Thrashy Thursday, Death Metal Saturday. You get the gist. It's a lot of fun. Come check it out.
All right, on to the review. Now, we are here to bring you the Metal Blade debut release of Midnight's Rebirth by Blasphemy.
This comes out on January 24th, and this is their Metal Blade debut. They were on Hell's Headbangers for a long time. This band, or rather this guy, Athanar, is based out of Cleveland, Ohio, our home state, which we're pretty proud to actually do a little review for. Yeah, go him.
You.
Been around since 2003. This initially started as a side project of his, and it just kind of caught steam. This is all him, all the time. He even does all the production on here. And this is only their fourth full length. But if you go on Encyclopedia Metalum, you will find out they have an absolute shitload of splits and EPs. And by they, I mean him. Probably going to happen a lot when talking about this band.
Well, let's dive right into it. I am not as familiar with Midnight as you are. And so, like any random thing that Necrotic throws my way, I never know what's in store, if I'm going to like it or not. But I have to say right away that this was an incredibly pleasant surprise, and I really enjoyed this album.
I know this guy. I know the riffs he likes, and as soon as I heard this, like, dude, this is him. We're both, like, pretty much the big black metal fans, and we love a lot of the classic, just heavy metal stuff. And that is exactly what Midnight is. Opening track, simply called fucking Speed and Darkness, and it delivers on that promise of speed and darkness.
Right away. It doesn't, there's no 3-minute intro of ambient bullshit. It's right to the meat and potatoes. Let's fucking go.
It just delivers this amazing riff right away, and it gets stuck in your head. Like, this album is completely loaded with riffs that will get stuck in your head.
The nostalgia factor is seen almost immediately with, bringing to mind bands like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest,
Venom, definitely some early Slayer, Celtic Frost. This is such an awesome mix of all these things, and it just delivers on energy, raw energy. You can tell this guy has an absolute hard-on for, like, 80s metal, but he also has a thing for fucking just bringing darkness and have his vocal delivery is so over the top and snarled, and he feels like he means every fucking demonic, perverted thing he says in these lyrics, and they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, read the lyrics, please. They're a treat.
Love this opening track. I love the lead bounce backs, which it's kind of cool since he is just the only guy in the band in the studio. Live, it kind of gives you a different dynamic because you can actually have two guitarists trade off, and he labors a memorable riff. If he knows he has it, which he definitely does in this opening track, he keeps it going, and that's something I love about this.
This album is filled with very catchy riffs. There's nothing on this album that's ever really over the top on a technical standpoint.
No.
But everything is nice and melodic, hooky, and very catchy and very driving.
Elegant in its simplicity. It's just pretty much sticks to the root and just delivers heavy, fast, but fun songs. They're so delightfully over the top that they can't help but to get stuck in your head. Now, a lot of this album really goes for that kind of thrashy, D-beat, kind of Motorhead, good old-fashioned stomp to it, but there's some stuff in here that brings in, again, some more Blackened elements. There's stuff that reminds me a lot of Dark Throne's more punky era, which is what we're listening to right now because Dark Throne rules. There's also some stuff in here that gets downright anthemic. Rising Scum.
Yeah.
This song is notably different because they kind of break speed on this one and go with, it's almost kind of similar to the drum beat for fucking We Will Rock You by Queen. And it's anthemic. They break down the riff, and in between those little breakdowns, you start shouting stuff, and you just can't help but to think of like a stadium full of people just pumping their fists and clapping along. It delivers on this. It's like an evil, satanic version of Twisted Sister. I loved it, like, instantly, and that was just pretty much what I got out of this entire album. And the song titles are ridiculous too. There's one before they called Devil's Excrement. That's just fucking awesome.
Which is pretty sweet. I mean, that's a fucking amazing title.
But a lot of this really kind of favors the faster, up-tempo stuff, but when they break away from it, they generally deliver something even more memorable, I think, because those moments really stand out, because you can kind of get lost in the blur of kind of D-beat in there, because honestly, like, This guy's great as a musician, obviously, and he's able to do all this stuff himself. Drums are definitely where he's not as proficient, you can tell. He's just pretty much serving the song. There's not a lot of flashy fills. It's just straightforward rhythm, and you just let the guitars just
and the vocals,
sing out. Yeah.
The vocals definitely drive it, and like, you know, Nick said before, he's very passionate with his delivery. They were mixed really well. And it's very interesting sometimes to hear something like an 80s metal riff that is normally has that mid-range to high-range vocal style on top with like this like screaming fucking black metal vocals. It was really cool.
And there were moments on here where, like, all right, if you supplemented, say, like Bruce Dickinson or Rob Halford, it would still work. Like, it would just come across as like a more evil version of Iron Maiden or Judas Priest on here. Now, honestly, with Metal Blade signing this, that really reminded me of like early Metal Blade signings. Slayer, of course, bands like Hollow's Eve. Like, this sounds like it was in a time capsule from 1983, and Metal Blade just kind of buried it and unearthed it. It's like, oh yeah, we should release this. It has that sort of feel for it, but it doesn't rely solely on nostalgia. It's all about bringing energy and riffs, because while this is very
simplistic in its creation
and very much worshiping at the altar, it's still very fresh and vibrant, and again, just fucking fun.
Yeah, anything they were lacking, because, you know, in a lot of metal albums, you go for just the most over-the-top playing that you can think of, you know? But this is very simplistic in its approach, but anything you feel like, or I felt like it lacked in technical proficiency that it could have pushed, it made up for with creativity, and once again, just good songwriting, good hook writing, you know?
Totally. Cursed Possessions. We both fucking love this one because instantly we got the old Iron Maiden vibes. Like, this one...
Yes.
I thought this was like very much Killer's era Iron Maiden. I fucking love that album, so that instantly hit a nice little button for me. Too short, though. I felt like this song could have been a little bit longer. It was like, no, come on, you're just kind of dick teasing me here.
That may be part of the appeal, though, too. You know, like, nothing was ever carried on too much to the point where you got sick of anything. A lot of these songs are 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes, you know? They're nice in your fucking face, and then they're gone, and it's on to the next one. So it doesn't give you time to even think of, oh, well, maybe we could cut that.
Like,
no,
it's
in,
it's
riff. Out.
Oh, shit.
Shit, we're already on the next song. Okay.
This album closes beautifully. One of my favorite songs in here, You Can Drag Me Through Fire. I instantly love this one. This one actually, we joked around earlier, like when I saw the title, I was like, maybe this is their love
ballad.
song, their ballad. And it starts off actually kind of
ballady.
Ballady. Little dark, of course, because that's just the atmosphere they generate. But it really just turns into this really epic song. Like, this just screamed, you know, Iron Maiden again, but in like the epic Iron Maiden, not like the fast burner. Like, this one has a nice gallop to it.
They're building up to something really great.
And this might have the single catchiest melody and riff on the entire album. And this album is fucking loaded with them.
Filled with them.
So the fact that they opened just as like strong as they closed here, it's just an awesome album. There really isn't a tremendous amount of weakness on here. This is just delivering the fucking goods. So overall, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. This motherfucker rules. Definitely check this shit out. I mean, if you're a fan of classic metal, this is going to hit all the right buttons for you. If you're a fan of black metal, there's tons of that here too. It's just raw energy, and these guys just bring the fun back to metal. This is a band I need to see live now. It's not just one. I feel like I need to see this live. Excellent shit.
I got to go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this album. It was a fun listen to. I listened to it 1.5 times before we reviewed it, just because of some time constraints. So everything I heard I liked, and when I heard it again, I liked it even better. I look forward to, in a year or two or whenever, you know, the next batch of tunes, because if they're as good as this, then they have a guy who's going to be buying their shit from now on. So
made a fan right there.
Made a fan. Also, don't forget, my little motherfuckers and motherfuckettes. At 1,000 subs, we are doing a Cryptopsy Hoodie giveaway.
So, what you got to do is we're going to have a link in the description for the video. Now, like that one, share it, but definitely sub the channel, because if you're subbed, you're in the contest. We're going to do a sub randomizer, and one lucky sub is going to get a kick-ass Cryptopsy Hoodie. So, there's incentive to sub right there. But also, definitely like this video as well.
Please.
So if you like the review, definitely give a thumbs up on this video, and we will be back with more shit, because that's kind of what we do. Catch you guys later.